I didn't change my phone. I didn't use a script. I didn't learn any tricks. I changed how I showed up. There was a moment when I realized something painful. Every text I sent was pushing her further away, and I didn't even know it. So I stopped trying to impress. I stopped explaining myself. And for the first time, I let silence speak louder than my words. That's when everything flipped. Her replies got faster, longer, more emotional. If you've ever felt ignored, confused, or invisible in someone's inbox, stay with me till the end. Because what I'm about to share changed everything. Comment your location and tell me where you're watching from. Subscribe to the channel. Don't miss what happens next. I want you to think about this for a moment. Most men text like they're auditioning for attention. Every message is a test, a plea, a desperate attempt to prove that they're interesting, worthy, or enough. They respond instantly, over-explain themselves, and pile compliments on top of compliments, hoping she'll validate their existence. But here's the truth that very few people understand. Chasing attention actually pushes her away. It's subtle, almost invisible, but it's there in every reaction, every anxious reply, every text sent, before the other person even has a chance to breathe. You see, attraction isn't about proving yourself. It's about leading the emotional rhythm of the interaction, guiding it without force, without neediness. When I realized this, everything changed. I stopped reacting to her texts like a reflex. I stopped letting my emotions dictate my replies. I started setting the tone, calm, confident, and unshakable. My messages became deliberate, short, and intentionally paced. I didn't ask for attention anymore. I assumed it. I created a presence in her mind that wasn't loud or frantic, but steady, magnetic, and quietly commanding. And the effect? She began leaning in. She began chasing without even realizing it. This is the power of emotional leadership in text. People often overlook it because it's not flashy. It doesn't scream or beg. Instead, it operates on a psychological level. By being grounded, by sending messages that carry a subtle confidence, you create an environment where she wants to engage. The neediness, the over-explaining, the constant seeking, that's what kills attraction. But when you show that you're self-assured, that you're content in your own space, her mind begins to fill in the gaps. She starts to wonder. She starts to imagine. She starts to reach out. It's a paradox that's simple but profound. The less you chase, the more she invests. The less you push for validation, the more she seeks connection. And this isn't manipulation. It's understanding human nature at a deeper level. It's aligning your actions with the truth that attention and desire can't be forced. They are drawn to energy, not desperation. So the next time you pick up your phone to text her, don't ask, don't explain, don't overcompensate. Lead. Set the tone. Be the calm in the storm. Let your presence speak louder than your words. And then watch as the dynamic shifts. Because here's the bottom line. Attraction is not about proving yourself worthy. It's about showing that you are already enough. And in that quiet authority, everything changes. Most men make the mistake of texting like it's a task to complete, like they're filling out a form. What are you doing? How was your day? Where are you? These are harmless questions on the surface, but they rarely spark engagement. They are functional, informational. They exchange facts but rarely create connection. And here's the thing, human connection isn't built on facts. It's built on emotion. Every interaction, whether in person or through a screen, is an emotional exchange. If you're only texting to gather information, you are forgetting the most fundamental principle of attraction. People respond to feelings, not facts. I realized that the moment I shifted my focus from exchanging information to creating emotion, everything changed. I stopped asking questions with predictable answers. Instead, I started sending messages that stirred curiosity, that challenged her in a playful way, that made her laugh or think. A single sentence, carefully framed, could evoke a feeling so strong that she couldn't resist replying. It wasn't about manipulation or trickery. It was about aligning my words with the way human minds actually work. When someone feels something, joy, intrigue, anticipation, their brain releases chemicals that make them want to continue that feeling. That's why she starts responding faster, why her replies get longer, why she keeps thinking about the conversation long after the screen goes dark. There's also a philosophical layer to this. Most people think attraction is built by proving worth, but in truth, it's built by creating experiences inside someone else's mind. Texting is an opportunity to become a presence in her imagination, to spark emotion, to leave an impression that lingers. It's a subtle dance between your energy and hers, where your words act as the rhythm. If the rhythm is predictable, flat, and emotionless, she loses interest. But if it fluctuates, teasing, playful, confident, intriguing, she's pulled in naturally. She wants to continue feeling what you've started. The key is intention. Every message should have a purpose, not just to communicate, but to evoke, to make her feel something she didn't feel before. And when she feels that, she begins to invest. She begins to chase. She begins to think about you even when she's not texting. This is the difference between being another person in her inbox and being the person she can't stop engaging with. So the next time you type a message, don't focus on answers. Focus on the impact it creates on her emotions. Text to spark curiosity, text to play. Text to make her feel something powerful, something memorable. Because emotion is magnetic, attention is fleeting, and attraction is born from how you make her feel, not what you ask her to answer. And here's the truth to leave with you: the right words don't just communicate, they awaken. When you text for emotion instead of information, you're no longer chasing, you're creating a force that naturally draws her toward you. Here's the part most men completely miss: attraction doesn't grow in constant motion. It grows in space, in the pauses, in the moments when you're not chasing, explaining, or filling every silence. Most guys panic when they don't get an immediate reply. They send another message, another question, another emoji, thinking they're keeping her engaged. But what they're actually doing is closing the very gap that creates intrigue. Silence, when used intentionally, is not emptiness. It's a magnetic force. It's an invitation for her mind to wander, to wonder, to imagine. And that's exactly what draws her in. When I embraced this, I noticed a subtle, almost imperceptible shift. I stopped rushing to reply. I didn't feel the need to validate myself with immediate responses. Instead, I allowed space to exist. And in that space, she began to invest her energy into reaching me. The texts that once felt like effortless exchanges now carried weight and anticipation. She wasn't replying because I pushed her, she was replying because she wanted to. Her desire became self-generated, and that's the difference. Attraction is never about forcing, it's about creating conditions where the other person is drawn naturally toward you. This is also a psychological truth. Humans are wired to fill gaps. When you leave space, her mind starts to construct scenarios, memories, and possibilities, and you become central in that mental narrative. It's not manipulation, it's understanding the rhythm of desire. By giving her room, by allowing absence to speak louder than presence, you transform texting from a chore into a psychological pull. She begins to anticipate, to think, to miss, and to engage, all on her own. So the lesson is clear: stop reacting out of fear or urgency. Stop sending messages to chase validation or attention. Instead, create pauses, embrace patience, and trust that your presence, when balanced with intentional space, becomes irresistible. Allow her to fill the void, and she will do so willingly, emotionally, mentally, and enthusiastically, because here's the ultimate truth to leave with you. Attraction thrives in the space you don't fill. The less you push, the more she invests. The more you hold back, the stronger the pull becomes. Master that rhythm, and texting transforms from a game of effort to a dance of magnetic connection.